It's the 10th of August. Rabbi Levitt. Doing Gemora now?
Yeah, we're gonna do Bava Metzia now.
Okay.
Let's see here. Where? Oh, so yeah, we're up to Boy Rabbi Yirmi, I believe. Boy Rabbi Yirmi. So basically, what we said so far was that we defined Paris Mufuzarin, the din that it's Hari Elu Shalom, that it's according to Rabbi Yitzchak that it's Kav Arba Amos, and we said, how does that work? So he said we're talking about in the threshing floor where they already did the threshing, and this is what they left after their threshing. So this amount the person is not going to come back for, so he's mafkirid, and so accordingly the one that finds it, he could keep the a kav that was spread out over Dalamos. Now we go to Boy Rabbi Yirmiyah. I hope this drilling stops because it's quite annoying and aggravating. Okay, so let's go to, here's Mayor coming in. Okay, so who would like to read? Boy, Rabbi Yirmiyah.
We're on 21A.
21A, yes. Boy, Rabbi Yirmiyah is
I see it. I see it. I'll read.
okay.
Boy, Rabbi Yirmiyah. Rabbi Yirmiyah inquired, Chatzi kav bishtei amos mahu. Half of a kav in two square amos. What is the law? Kav be'arba amos tama mai. What is the reason that a kav in 4 square amos belongs to the owner, the finder? Mishum de nafish tar chayhu. Because the effort to collect it is too great. I guess so the owner therefore gives up. Chetzi kav bishtei amos, a half kav over 2 square amos. Kevan delo nafish tar chayhu, since the effort to collect them is not so great. Lo mafkar lahu. He does not make them ownerless. The owner does not give Odilma mishum delo chashive, or maybe it's because it's not significant. It's a small amount. V'chetzi kav mishtei amos, and half a kav over 2 square amos, kevan delo chashive, because it's not significant. Mafkar, he makes it ownerless. He gives up. It's not worth it.
Right. Okay. We have Rashi over here.
Okay, where would we? I'm trying to see where we there's a Rashi.
We're doing Gemora.
Yeah, we're doing the Gemara.
Yes. Morning,
what-
Mayor. We just finished reading the boy Rabbi Yirmiyah.
Okay, which tractate again?
Sorry, Mayor.
Baba
I
Metzia.
should have told you. Bava Metzia,
Baba Metzia. And what doth?
21A4.
Okay, I'll be right back. Thank you.
Okay, so we're looking to see if there's a Rashi on this section over here.
I see in the bottom, Chetzi Kav Pishtei Amos. 6 lines up from the bottom in the Rashi. Or is that the Tosfos? Wait a second.
Yeah, it's Tosfos.
Sorry. It's on the other side, the Rashi.
Tosfos has a question over here. Before we get to Tosfos' question, I think this Rashi Mishum Delo Chashivi is from Rabbi Yirmiyah's question. In other words, let's review what it was that Rabbi Yirmiyah asked over here. He's asking what's going to be the din. This that we know that Kav B'Dal Amos, the guy's not going back, so he's mafkirit. And when we say that he's not going back, he's mafkirit, we're saying that he knows where it is, right? So he's not giving up of ever finding it. That's not the point over here. He knows where it is, but it's not worth it for him to go and bother to pick up one kav spread out over Dalet Amos. And Rabbi Yirmiyah is trying to figure out what's the reason why we say that it's not worth it for this guy to go and do that. So he's got 2 possibilities. One possibility is, he says, the reason why he didn't do kav and Dalet Amos is because it's too much tircha. That's called nafish tirchayu. It's too much tircha. Oh, so if so to get 2 kav in half, no, to get half a kav in 2 amos is not nafish tirchayu. It's half the tircha. So maybe that he would go back for. Wouldn't be mafkir. On the other hand, maybe the reason why he doesn't take 1 kav in 4 amos, he doesn't go back for it, is because every single 3 words that I say, you hear it really disturbs your concentration. You can't even talk. Oh boy.
Forget about it.
What are you going to do with neighbors, you know? Okay, so the other possibility is that it's the reason why I didn't pick up 1 kav in 4 amos is because 1 kav is lo chashivi. It's not a significant enough amount to merit bothering with. So therefore, that's why he doesn't go back. If so, then what would we say about half that amount spread out over half that area? For sure, he's not going to go he's not going to go back for that either. So then, in that case, we would say that in that case he's mafkir. Okay, so that's his question. And now Rashi says over here, Mishum Delo Chashivi.
Okay, there's a little bit the 2 Rashis, a couple of 2 lines from above that we start the Rashis. Nafish trehe, that it's a bother for that. The kabsan to gather it up, to collect it. And then it's B'tzir Mechachi, but less than this, Lo Hoya Pazurin, if it was not spread out, Pazurin, the Pechot Mikan, with less than that. Now that Rashi is talking about Mishum below Chachibi, because it's not considered anything important and significant enough. A lay on it, kav peyrot, that it should be the amount of a kav of peyrot, latrot, to bother on it, torech kibbutz, bother of collecting it, shel arba amos, of 4 amos. It's too much of a ding. 4 amos for a kav and 4 amos is too much to deal with.
Yeah, see, it's still it's always a combination. That's what you see from Rashi over here. The combination is when we say lo chashibi, we're saying that in terms of number one, the amount of grain that he's going to get for his efforts. So it's a kav. And then when we consider the tircha that it takes to get it over 4 amos, we say we say it that it's lo chashivi. That amount is not. But you notice that Rashi didn't just say because 1 kav of Paris is not chashivi. He mentioned the fact that it's not chashivi in regard to the effort that it would take to get it if it was spread out over 4 amos. Maybe if it was spread out over 3 amos, he would take it. And he would take it because it's for that amount of effort. It's a little bit tricky to like isolate and say the reason is because of lo chashivi. It's a combination deal. But maybe what the Gemora means is the primary issue is that it's not chashivi, and the background is that it's 1 kav that's over 4 amos. That means it's not chashivi. That's one sad that Rabbi Yirmiyah had. The other sad is that the reason that he doesn't take 1 kav in Dalet amos is because of nafesh tirchayu. It's too much tircha to gather up that amount of grain over that amount of space is too much tircha. It's too much tircha. So obviously it's a function of the fact that there's not so much grain. If it was 10 things of grain spread out over 4 amos, he wouldn't say, "Oh, it's not worth the tircha. It's not nafesh tirchayu because it's 4 amos. It's because it's only 1 grain, only 1 kav of grain." Okay. So it's okay. So therefore, that is his first question, Rav Yirmiyah's first question. Okay. Okay. So now let's continue with the Gemora. Now we're not finished with his question. Now he's got a question about kavayim b'shmona amos mahu. Now Tosfos has an interesting question over here. Let's since we like to do interesting things, let's take a look at this Tosfos over here. It's the bottom Tosfos, chatzi kav b'shtei amos. So that's exactly the case that the first case that Rabbi Yirmiyah is asking a question about. What would we say about half that amount spread out over half the area? That's Rabbi Yirmiyah's question. So Tosfos, he doesn't like this question. So we got to figure out why is it that Tosfos doesn't like Rabbi Yirmiyah's question. Okay, who wants to read Tosfos?
I'm the only one volunteering for Tosfos, so you want it, Lou.
Okay.
The question is because Chetzi is, it's the same ratio of Kav over 4 or Chetzi over 2. So the question is, I mean, it is a smaller area and it's a smaller amount. So why make a big deal about it? So let's see what Tosfos says on it. Chetzi kav
See how he
shtei amos.
explains it.
Tema. This is like, it's surprising. Hello, kav arba amos. Isn't that already saying that it's a kav and 4 amos if we had half and 2? Havinami also chetzi kav shtei amos would also be the same as what I just said. 2 kav in half of a kav and 2 amos. Umay kambayele. And what are we asking here? The Yesh Lomar, and there is to say, Kaven, since the Leka Elechatzi Kav, since it's only a half an amount, you'll coat. He'll go gather it. Kaven, since it ain't low Torah. Since there's no bother about that, is that league more to finish it?
Yes, Ligmor.
But with a kav and 4 amas, there would be a bother in that loco to gather it up. Hakol to gather hakol. The aim melakate klal, and he won't bother gathering anything at all. Inami, alternately, we could say kav the amas. If we have a kav in 4 amas, merubaim. That's a square area, 4 amas square. Have that would also be chetzi kav b'shtei amos. That would be half a kav in 2 amas, which is rochav arba amos. Orech that it would have that when we say 2 amas, would be talking about 2 amas being the a rochav is the length, so to speak. But arba amos orech, and 4 amos and 4 amos would be the width. So when we do it to 2, like the 4 amos is like 4 by 4, but half of it would own 2 amos area, 2 amos wide, 2 amos length, and 4 amos wide. It's a 2 by 4 area instead of a 4 by 4 area. But hachi here, by chetzi kav, we need half of a kav, the beit amos, and 2 amos, al beit amos. Okay, so he's saying that really the only way worth it is when we say the 2 amos, we've now cut it to a 2 by 2 area, not just a 2 by 4 area. It's not the same in a 4 by 4 area, which is 16 square amos, and not 2 by 4, which would be 8 square amos. We're talking about a 2 by 2 area, which is only 4 square amos, and that isn't such a bother to collect it. So that's how he's getting out of that. Sorry if it's too much math for you guys. But the half isn't half in each direction, not just half of the full square total area you had.
What about
It's only
the diagrams?
It's only a quarter.
Diagrams? All right.
Well, think of a big square, which is 4 by 4, 4 in each direction. The half, we only really mean half in only one direction or half in both directions. And half in both directions, a 2 by 2 is a much smaller area than a 4 by 4 area. It's not such a big deal. It's not such a bother to get it.
Okay, in order to understand the inami, I think we got to understand the first answer, the question and the answer that Tosfos gave first. We understand that, we'll be able to understand what's the inami all about. What's Tosfos' original question? So, let me just put on the air here. Tosfos' original question is, look, to say this person is not going to bother with one kav spread out over 4 amos. But the Tosfos is assuming that, and so the Rabbi Yirmiyah is asking a question about what about a half of a kav spread out over 2 amos? Tosfos says, what's the question that Rabbi Yirmiyah is asking? You also have in one kav spread out over 4 amos. You also have a half of a kav spread out over 2 amos. You have it if you cut the thing in half, you've got two cases, 2 instances of a half of a kav spread out over 2 amos. So if we said that he's not going to go bother with it, so Tosfos says, why would you think that he's going to bother with doing half? And maybe the question is like this: if you say that he's going to do it, if you say that Rabbi Yirmiyah is entertaining a tzad that he would go ahead and take the half kav spread out over 2 kavim. So if on that side that he would do so then why is it that the Gemora is saying that 1 kav over 4 amos, he's not going to do it all? He's not. We just got said. If he's not going to do it at all, he's not going to do it halfway either. I think that's Tosfos' question. And we see from the Mishnah, the way the Gemara understands the Mishnah, that when we say that he's not going back, we mean to say he's not going back for any of the kav, not a half of the amount, not a quarter of the amount, not going back at all. So if so, then what's Rabbi Yirmiyah asking? If you cut it in half, is he going to go back for it? We just got through saying one kav and 4 amos, he's not going back for it all, for any part of it. So obviously he's not going to go. I think Tosfos is in his question. He's saying he would not go back for a half of a kav in 2 amos either, because if he would, he could do half of a job with the 1 kav and the 4 amos, and then leave.
I'm trying to explain the math in this. There is math in that, believe it or not. That is, when we say the 2 amos, we're not really meaning 2. When we say 4 amos, we're meaning a 4x4 square area. Okay? So 4x4, the way you get area is you multiply the 2 together. So a 4x4 area is 16 square amos. You'd have 16 little amma by amma squares within it. So when you say the half, when he cuts the half, he's cutting each dimension by half and making it 2x2. A 2x2 is only 4 square amos. So that's only a quarter of the area for that half of a kav. So in that area, a 2x2 area is small enough that he can do it in. But a 2x4 won't work, but a 2x2 would work. And that's why that's his question. Would it work? Would he be willing to go back for a 2x2 area, which is really only a quarter of a 4x4 area?
Okay, so Tosfos answers, Yesh loymar kevan deleka ela chatzi kav. Since all there is over here is a chatzi kav, Yulkot, he's going to go and do that job. Why is he going to go and do that job? He could have done that job with 1 and 4 amos too. But this job, which is we're understanding is a portion of that job. Let's say it's half of the job. He'll do it. Why is he going to do that? And the job that the Mishnah is talking about, he's not going to do it all. Tosfos explains, Kevin she'ein lo torach ligmor. There's no tircha involved in finishing the job. He wants to be able to finish the job. So when it comes to half of a kav and 2 amos, he's going to be able to finish that job. and it's not going to be so much tircha, and he'll do that. He'll do that. But kav arba amos. Oh, yesh lo torah. That's too much tircha. That's too much tircha for him to think about doing that whole job. Yesh lo torah lil kodako, to take the whole kav spread out over 4 amos. So then he's going to have to. In other words, let's say like this: the first job he'll be able to finish that job in 30 minutes. If he goes and does it, let's say 15 minutes. 15 minutes. 15 minutes he'll take. Finish the job. So he'll do that. He'll do that. Maybe he'll do that, says Rabbi Yirmiyah. That's where the question that we're asking. But even though we have a question whether he'll do that, but still we're saying he definitely won't do it if it's the whole 1 kav over 4 amos. That's too much tircha. And Tosfos says, in malaket klal. He's not even going to start the job. He's going to leave the whole thing. He's not going to go back at all. The whole kav over 4 amos is hefker. Is hefker. So it's sort of like a psychological deal over here. We're talking about, Tosfos says, a person, if he could finish a job, so then it's worth the tircha. But just to do, but to do the whole job, that's too much tircha to finish that job. So why don't you start, and why don't you do half of it? That's really Tosfos' question. Why in the case of kav ba'arba amos, why don't we say that he'll go and take half of a kav over 2 amos and then he'll leave. So if he's going to do that, so then we can't say that the whole kav is hefker. Tosfos says no, that he's not going to start. Since he can't finish the job, he's not going to even start the job. If he can finish the job, he'll start it and he'll finish it. That's not too much tircha to do that whole job of half of a kav in 2 amos. But 1 kav in 4 amos, to do the whole job, to finish the job is too much tircha. And if you'll say, but so let him do half. No. It's a psychological thing. He doesn't want to do half of a job. Doesn't want to do half a job. He's not going to do that. So that's Rabbi Yirmiyah's question. If all he's got is half of a kav over 2 amos, that's the whole job. So that he can. That's our question. Since he could finish that, maybe if it's a matter of tircha, so it's worth it for him. It's not so much tircha as 1 over 4. He'll do that. That's Tosfos' first answer. Then the question is the inami. So what's the inami going to say now? Inami is taking a different approach. That's what Phil was talking about. Inami is kav ba'arba amos miruba'im. Meaning to say that what? It's 4 amos wide and it's 4 amos length. Right? That's what it means, 4 square amos. 4 square amos means it's lengthwise it's 4 amos and widthwise it's 4 amos. So like that, there's a total of 16 square amos in that area. Kav ba'arba amos miruba'in habe chetzi kav b'shtei amos rochav v'arba amos orech. Now he got complicated. How does that work? 4 amos of 4 amos meruba'in, says Tosfos, is half of a kav in 2 amos rochav, but 4 amos orach. That would be exactly half. But Hacha over here, Rabbi Yirmiyah is not asking that question. Hacha boy hatzikav, but shtei amos al shtei amos. Two amos wide, 2 amos long. So that's only a quarter of the area of 4 by 4. That's what the Gemora is asking. So like this, what Tosfos is doing is he's saying that Rabbi Yirmiyah's question is not, let's say you have exactly half the job. you have a different proportion over here. You have half of the kav, but it's only spread out over 1/4 of the area. The Tosfos original question on the Gemora was half of the amount spread out over half of the area. And Tosfos says, no, when the Gemora says half a kav over 2 amas, it means 2 by 2, which is really a quarter of 4 by 4. So it's much less area. Okay. Fine. Now it's time to turn it off. It's already too cold. All right. Okay, so now that's Rabbi Yirmiyah Chetzikav over Shtei Amos. Now we're going to go to another question. So we ask Roy to continue. We have time? No, we don't. Okay. We don't have time. All right.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay. Everybody have a wonderful day.
I hope your test went well on Friday.
Baruch Hashem. Thank you.
All right. See you tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem. Mayor, you got an email about the link for Rabbi Moore?
Yeah, we're using your link, it looks like.
Yeah, same link as before. I don't know what happened on Friday, but
Okay,
should work. If not, give me a call.
very good. Will do.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Bye, Mayor. Bye, Roy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Lou.
See you later, Mayor.
Bye, Phil.
No.